Bad things happen. Theft, loss, or damage to your device. But disaster can be prevented by backing up your important data, and I'm going to show you how to do that with Syncthing. So first we want to download Syncthing to our desktop or laptop computer, and this is where we're going to back up our Android files to. So using the link below in the description, I can link to Syncthing where you can download the latest version, which is available on Windows, Mac, and Linux systems. The setup is roughly the same, and I'm going to show you how to do that on a Windows computer. So once we start installing, it will give us some details. Just be mindful of the GUI interface address listed there, 127.0.0.1, and that's how we'll access the GUI interface through a web browser. So once we've finished installing, it will open the browser and go to the correct address. Port is 8384. We do have to click Advanced so that we can access it. And now we can set up Syncthing on our computer. Later, it's a good idea to add this username password just so that somebody can't log in on your computer, but right now we're just going to focus on setting up the basics. If we click Actions and Show ID, this will show the QR code and unique ID for this device, which is the computer. Later, we're going to need that to add it to our Android version of Syncthing, and make sure that we have the correct devices syncing. It is a security risk if you are adding devices that you do not know. As you can see, there are some other devices listed here. I want to be careful that I'm not syncing with some random device. If you're doing this in your own home, chances are these devices are already on the network, but who knows who's on your device. So here we can download Syncthing. It is available in the Google Play Store, but it's also available in F-Droid if you prefer to get apps there. Once it's done installing, we can set it up and start to sync our files from our Android device to the computer. On different Android operating systems, there are Google options and Seed Vault backups, but I found these to be a little bit unreliable, and not to mention if you are trying to get away from Google services, this is a viable option, and once you've set it up, it runs quite automatically. So during the setup, we do have to enable these permissions, and I'm doing this on Graphene OS, so you can see how this might look if you are also using that operating system. This is the Syncthing interface on the Android device. So there's a few tabs at the top, and on the left menu we can show the device ID of the Android device just like we saw earlier. We can use QR codes or simply look for that long string of characters, copy and pasting, or adding that device there. So if we look on the computer to add a device, we can see that we have found that same device, and now we want to add it accordingly. We want to do the same thing on the Android system. So when we add device, we want to match that string with the one on the computer. which here I am using the XMMC ID, and that's the one I'm going to be adding. Once both are added, then we should see them connected here. And they will start to sync up. At the moment, there are no files to sync, so it shows 100%. So our next step is to add a folder, and I'm going to be backing up my pictures from my Android device automatically to my desktop using Syncthing. So we want to choose the correct folder from our Android device. We click on Directory, and then we navigate to the folder where you store your pictures. Here I'm using simply the camera DCIM folder. And so every time I take a picture, it's going to be able to sync to my desktop computer when they're both connected to the internet. You can select a folder type here as well if you want them to sync both ways, but I want mine to sync only from the Android device to the computer and not the other way. Once you've added the folder, you'll see in the computer that this new folder pop-up shows up. Here, you get to select where you want those photos to be syncing on the computer. So I'm going to have a special folder with my user ID, and I might call it Backup. Note that you do have to use unique folders for every different folder you add from your Android device. Otherwise, it will run into syncing issues. So once I've put it in backup, I can't now add another folder from my Android device and put it in backup as well. Each one has to be unique. So now it's syncing the photos from my Android device. I also personally like to add another folder for specific backup files that I will tell my Android device to put in this folder later. So I created one here called Backup. You can use this to back up things such as Signal, your two-factor authenticators, podcast files, etc. So here, yes, again, I have to create a different folder, and I'm calling that Backup 2. So now I'm syncing my important data, which I say is my pictures, and my specific backups from certain applications. If we go into the advanced configuration, there is something you might want to check here is ignore delete on that file folder for the photos. So then you can delete files from the Android device and it won't delete them from your desktop. So it saves all the photos there. And as you can see, now they are showing up on my desktop computer. A few other features here we can see. The web GUI is also running on the Android device. And Syncthing is running in the background. You don't have to have it running all the time, but you might want to if you want that constant backup, just in case. But I turn mine on just when I want to back things up. I just remind myself every day at a certain time, I'm going to back this stuff up and make sure it's connected to my computer. You can also have certain other parameters like backup only while on Wi-Fi or only while on data or both. And you can also export and import different settings from Syncthing. I'm not going to get into the details of this, but I'm just going to show you certain run conditions and settings that are available, and then we can move on from there. So this will back up any files that you can generate on your device. However, I still have the problem with backing up SMS, contacts, and my phone logs. So for this, there is another app I'm going to use, which is SMS Import Export, also available on F-Droid. So once this is open, I'm also going to allow some permissions here. This allows you to import and export messages, call logs, contacts, numbers, etc. into a file. This can then be imported back in using SMS import export. I may show you that later in another video, but here's just the basic. Now I'm pointing the automatic export, scheduled export, to that backup folder that I created earlier. And then on schedule, it will automatically back up all my SMS messages to that folder. And then when I sync with Syncthing, that will get backed up to my desktop computer. So in the event that I lose or break my device, I can then re-import all of this stuff to my device later. Note this won't back up any apps or settings, but you can back up some very important things. Here on my device, I have Aegis backed up, which is two-factor authentication, antenna pod, and Signal, as well as K9 settings, which automatically export to that backup folder once in a while. So here's a few other settings in Syncthing, but that should get you started, and this is a viable option for backing up those things that don't have cloud backup and automatic backup systems already. If you have any questions or trouble setting this up, let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to help you. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.